talk about what's it mean to actually factor a polynomial. We've done this a little bit. Just like when you factored out the GCF, what you're doing is you're breaking it up into pieces. So break up the polynomial, break it up into pieces, usually with parentheses. So if you think about, like in elementary school, you can talk about factors. So for example, what are some factors of 20?
Factors of 20?
What are some factors of 20? 5 and what? 5 and 4. What are some other factors? 10 and 2. What's another factor? There's one more. 21. Okay. So all of these are factors. Factors are simply things that you can multiply together, right? Or to get the product. Or things that evenly divide. So all of these are factors. What you're doing today is you're splitting it up into some binomials that'll multiply together to get your polynomial. So you're breaking it up into the smaller pieces. How are you going to factor a quadratic equation when a equals 1? This is important. A equals 1. We'll talk about this a lot, but we are looking at, this is a quadratic trinomial. Ax squared plus bx plus c. You're going to hear me talk about a, b, and c. The a is in front of the x squared, the b is in front of the x, the c is the constant at the end. So there you go in alphabetical order from highest degree to smallest degree. Here's how we're going to factor today. Because a equals 1, what you need to do today is find two numbers that multiply to c, so whatever number's in that spot, but add to b. And then you'll write it like this. So you'll have two binomials usually. I think this is kind of fun because it's like a puzzle. You got to find those two numbers, make sure it works, that multiplies to the c term, adds to the b term, and then you break it up into two parentheses. You make sure it works, and you're done. Okay. This first example, if it helps you, so a is equal to 1, b is equal to 8, so this is a, and c is 15. You need two numbers that multiply to c, so that multiply to 15, but add to what? 8, the b term. So here's what I'm going to see me do over and over and over. I'm going to draw this little like X thing. I'll do it out to the side for right now. Two numbers that multiply to 15, but add to 8. So think about, what are your factors of 15? 15, you can do 15 times 1. What else could you do? 5 times 3. Does 5 times 3 multiply to 15? Yes. Does it add to 8? Yes. Then those are your two numbers. So then we take those two numbers, 5 and 3, and we write it as two binomials. So it'll be x plus 5 and x plus 3. These are your factors. Okay, this is not magic. I'm going to prove it to you that it works. So all we've done is we've broken up the b term into 5 and 3, and we know that the last two have to multiply to 15. So I want you to check your work. So check with what we did yesterday, multiply these out, make sure it works. So that'd be x squared outer, so plus 3x, inner, plus 5x, last, plus 15. Does it work? Yeah. So these are your factors. When I ask you to factor, I'm asking for an answer like this. That's it. We're going to do that over and over today. It works every time because of how you multiply it out. We're going backwards. We're like figuring out what it would divide by. Okay. So you can always check your work. You don't need to ask me, Miss Brandt, is this right? How about you multiply it out and find out for yourself? Okay? If it doesn't multiply out correctly, then probably have something wrong. Next one. Whoop. A is 1. That's why this works. B is 11. C is 24. You need two numbers that multiply to 24 but add up to what? 11. Think about your factors of 24. 6 times 4. Would that add up to 11? No. Okay, so what are some other factors? 8 times 3. That multiplies to 24. Does it add up to 11? Yes, those are your two numbers. So then write your polynomial as two binomials. X, not X, it's R, right? R plus 8 and R plus 3. You could quickly check your work in your head. That'd be R squared plus 3R plus 8R plus 24. If you combine like terms, that's right. So you're done. Yes?
What do you do with the square that it says in the first equation, like the original one?
So you go from R squared to R?
Yeah.
Okay, well check your first terms. Do these two multiply to R squared?
Yes.
That's why we did that. That way when you multiply it out, you get R squared. Next one. Now we're going to get some negatives. Woohoo! I'm going to do the little x thing down here. X squared minus 11x plus 24. You need two numbers that multiply to positive 24 but add to negative 11. Can you please discuss with people around you what are your two numbers? Be careful, they have to add up to a negative. Multiply to positive 24 but add up to negative 11. Anybody have it? Someone raise your hand. Tell me, what are my two numbers? This is where it starts getting a little bit more tricky when you got negatives. Jackson, what are they?
Negative 8 and negative 3.
They are. Negative times a negative is a positive. So I would just start by thinking about what are my positive factors, but it's got to add up to a negative number. So negative times a negative is a positive. So you would write this as x minus 8 times another x minus 3. You can check your work by multiplying it out like we did yesterday, and it should be equal to that polynomial. Next one. Now we're doing y's. Y squared minus 6y plus 8. Two numbers that multiply to 8 but add to negative 6. Some factors of 8 are 1 and 8. What's another one?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. Okay. So Kayla, what do we got to use? Negative 4 and negative 2. Those multiply to positive 8, but they add to negative 6. Anna, put your phone in your bag. So that would be y minus 4 times y minus 2. If we multiply that out, it works. Okay, and the last one. Okay, you don't see a number in front of that b term right now. What number is there? A 1, negative 1. So you need two numbers that multiply to positive 2, but add to negative 1. Okay, some factors of 2 are 2 and 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. You could also do negative 2 times negative 1, but what would that give you? That would give you positive 2, but it would add up to negative 3. Is this possible? No. Okay, just like you have prime numbers like 7, 13, 23 that don't have any factors, this is a prime polynomial. In other words, this is not possible. Okay? But you need to say to me prime because prime numbers don't have any factors. Their only factors are 1 in itself. Same type of thing happening here. You can't find two numbers, it's prime. Okay, a little bit more with negatives. So on to the back. We'll do this first one together. You need two numbers that multiply to negative 15, but add up to what? 2. Okay. So now they've got to have two numbers that multiply to negative 15. So it has to be a positive and a negative. If you're having a hard time, you can always write out your factors. Okay, some factors of negative 15, that would be negative 1 times 15. What are some other ones? 3 and 5. Specifically, one's got to be positive and one's got to be negative. So you could do negative 3, positive 5. You could do negative 5 and positive 3. You could also do positive 1 and negative 15. Look at your factors. So these are the combinations we thought of. Do any of those multiply, all of those multiply to negative 15? Which of those add up to positive 2?
Negative 3 and 5.
Negative 3 and 5. So this one. So if you're having a hard time when it comes to, okay, I got to have things that multiply to a negative number but add to a positive or negative, I would write out my factors. So my thing would be x minus 3, x plus 5. Okay, can you please do the next two with your partner? So try the next two. Remember, if you can't get it to work, then it's prime.
Multiply negative 2 and add to negative 4. Yeah. I can't think of any.
You guys are correct that the second one is prime. Good job. So this one, c squared minus 4c minus 2, that's prime. So you got to work on the last one. N squared plus 9n minus 36. If you're struggling, I would just write out some factors of negative 36.
Thank you.
Okay, 36. You could do, obviously, negative 36 times 1. You could do positive 36 times negative 1. What are some other factors? 12 and 3, 9 and 4. So 9 times negative 4, or negative 9 times positive 4. And then you can also do 12. 12 times negative 3. Negative 12 times 3. Any of these work? 12 times negative 3. that multiplies to negative 36, but adds to positive 9. So your factors should be those two. N plus 12, n minus 3. Again, if you're having a hard time, write out the factors and then see which ones work. Okay, last few. Here we go. These ones are kind of special. The first one, you don't see a B term. So this is the A and C right now. So you could actually rewrite this as x squared plus 0x minus 64. You don't see a B term, the B term is 0. There are no x's. And so you need two numbers that multiply to negative 64, but add to 0. What are those two numbers? Who's got it? Haley, do you have it? Yes. Negative 8, positive 8. So this splits up. And if you see something like this, x squared, and then minus something like 64, that's a perfect square, then you should know immediately it splits up into whatever the square root of that number is. So square root of 64 is 8. These ones should be quick if you recognize that. The next one, notice it does not have a C term. It only has an A and B term. What could I factor out of a squared minus 5a? Can I take out GCF? A. Take it out. This is another kind of factoring. You're still factoring it out. You're still using parentheses, but remaining you would have A minus 5. This is the first kind of factoring you did in this class. Yes?
What is the difference between the first one and this one?
Well, let's look at it. So these two. The one that we just did right before this had an A and C term only. This one only had A and B. So both of the terms had variables. The one right before this, one had a variable, one did not. Okay, and then the last one is kind of weird because you have two kinds of variables. Pretend they're not there for now, and let's just do what we did before. You need two numbers that multiply to negative 4, but add to negative 3. What are the numbers? What are the numbers? Carson, what are my numbers?
Negative 4, 1.
Negative 4, positive 1. Those multiply to negative 4, but add to negative 3. So when you write this one out, it's a little bit different. So the first terms have to be m, because the first terms have to multiply to get m squared. But then it's got to be minus 4. What do you think I had to put with the 4? An n. And it's got to be plus, I'm sorry, my screen's messing up, plus 1 n. Because the first terms have to multiply to get m squared, the last terms, these two, have to multiply to get negative 4n squared. You can check your work. M squared plus 1mn minus 4mn minus 4n squared. So it would combine to get this. When in doubt, multiply it out, see if it works to check your work.